There's been a lot of buzz over the last few weeks about strange sounds being heard in the atmosphere. People around the world and here at home have reported hearing some bizarre noises.
Some strange noises heard around the world the last few weeks, from Arizona to England and right next door in Manitoba, all showing folks alarmed by what sounds like a noise straight out of a science fiction flick.
Watching a scary movie. The background noise gives you the feeling that something terrible is about to happen.
Strange, mild sound. It seems like it's coming from the sky anyway.
I've heard that Jesus is coming back. I've heard that it's 2012, the world is ending.
This phenomenon stretched beyond North Battleford. Similar experiences were reported in Saskatoon, northern Saskatchewan, and parts of the U.S., even in Europe.
I have never seen this before, and I'm doing video. That's
correct. Can we please send it to James Spain and the Weather Channel?
That we are in the birth bank. Something is going on. We are in unprecedented, uncharted waters.
It's like a cloud of birds, but a giant cloud.
It's really creepy. It's kind of like, is the world coming to an end here or something? I mean, it's scary.
The whole sky will fill up with black birds.
But it's crazy. It's scary, ain't it?
How many do you think?
Like a million.
It's like we're being held hostage.
Held hostage in maybe a 3-mile radius by blackbirds.
When it comes down, it sounds like rain coming down. I mean, literally, from inside of our apartment, you think that it's raining outside.
What a sight this is. Thousands of dolphins swarm a whale-watching boat off the coast of Orange County.
You're looking at hundreds upon hundreds of dolphins breaching out of the water. The unusual spectacle was caught on tape.
Trying to figure out what caused that flash in the sky in the Northwest Valley. It happened this morning, right here. If you haven't seen it, here we go. During Andrea's traffic report, look, we're going to slow it down for you right there. Look in the background. Looks like some kind of very bright light, almost like it was an explosion or something. Our first thought was maybe a transformer. But we checked with APS and SRP. They said they haven't had any trouble. We haven't had any reports of any explosions either. Here it is one more time for you in slow-mo. So it is still a mystery.
From a series of powerful earthquakes sending shockwaves through Japan.
That is the same area that was struck last year. There was a small tsunami in that area, and about 3 hours after that, another major earthquake.
But we will see continent-shattering earthquakes. We're seeing now too many anomalies, especially on the New Madrid. The rest of the world is coming apart at the seams.
Hey, Clintonville, Wisconsin residents say their homes rattled after explosion-like noises woke them up last night. And city leaders are still trying to figure out just what caused it all. Police phone lines were jammed with calls from a 13-block area. Callers reported not just hearing loud booms, but rumbling in the ground that shook them. right out of their homes.
It sounded like somebody was dropping bombs.
What we know from geologists down at UW-Madison is that this is clearly not consistent with earthquake activity.
People in this community won't stop coming up to us tonight, telling us that they're still hearing this loud boom tonight, and then they feel the ground shake just a little bit. Now, this boom isn't coming up from the sky, but rather it's coming from down below.
Aftershock shook Mexico City. It comes after a magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck 120 miles east of Acapulco.
There seems to be a systematic effort to downplay the earthquakes and especially their intensity. And we're now in the realm of lame excuses for everything. You know, it's amazing that people just seemingly take the word of the most pathetic investigative journalism that's ever been seen in the history of the world in the United States.
More rumblings in Clintonville early this morning.
And what's causing that?
Some Clintonville residents, though, they're speculating, of course. The church's marquee reads, "God is shaking our city. Let's have a revival."
And tonight there are reports of more booming sounds 80 miles away. Police in Montello are now investigating similar sounds.
But so far, I don't have an explanation.
We have a lot of good, reliable sources that reported this pretty much community-wide, and, you know, at this point in time, it is quite the talk of the town. There's no doubt about it.
There was a loud boom, and all the windows shook, the whole house shook.
It felt like my front door was being, trying to be kicked in. My apartment was shaking.
For the third night in a row, unexplained ground shaking has leaders in Clintonville scratching their heads. In our big story, city officials remain at a loss over what this could be. Several theories have been ruled out, including water, other utilities, even an earthquake. The city isn't ordering any evacuations, but some say they are considering leaving town. The booms began early Monday morning, continued Tuesday morning, and came back once again early this morning.
The people there are on edge. Police say they've received more than 500 calls about vibrations.
The ground is shaking in an unusual way.
And what we're seeing is that these events continue one after another.
The ground is shaking in an unusual way.
Okay, we've never seen pictures like this before from NASA. Amazing video of what looks like tornadoes on the sun.
Signs in the heavens and the earth.
And what we're seeing is that these events continue one after another.
A report out of Florida tonight is a reminder to millions of Americans there is a strange and dangerous vulnerability underground, sinkholes. A man was in his bedroom. The earth opened up beneath the house and he fell in. ABC's Matt Gutman shows us the science of what happened in Florida and how to know what's under your house.
emergency.
Horror struck the little house on Faithway Drive just before midnight.
The house just fell through.
These 911 tapes reveal the terror inside that house.
The bedroom floor just collapsed and my brother-in-law is in there. He's underneath the house.
A sinkhole some 30 feet across and up to 100 feet deep opened up directly beneath Jeff Bush's bedroom. His brother Jeremy says he tried desperately to save him.
Here's video that explains why Florida authorities are so worried. What was a perfectly normal vacation villa with 24 units that are 3 floors high, all crumbling into a 100-foot sinkhole.
Hey!
That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Not gonna lie, my heart's racing. Thought I was going with it.
At Inskip Point, a massive sinkhole swallowing at least 100 metres of beach. The popular four-wheel driving and camping strip gouged and washed out to sea.
I had a double island point 1971 through till they made it National Park, and we've never seen anything like this ever in their whole life. See different washouts that'll wash the sand out, but this isn't going out to sea, it's going down somewhere.
A few days ago, the earth opened up and left this giant sinkhole right in the middle of Dalton Haas's pasture.
My brother found it, and he called me up, and his voice was quaking. He said, "You'll never believe what I just seen."
Some 200 feet across, 90 feet deep. People are amazed at the size of this hole that seemed to show up overnight. Just to give you an idea of how big it is, this is me over here. A few people have hiked to the bottom.
I had seen pictures and I thought it was deep, but I didn't know it was this deep. Get out here and you get a whole different perspective of how big it is.
You really can't get a good sense of the size and scope of this thing unless you walk up close to it. And just how safe it is to walk up close to it remains a question mark, because see these cracks in the ground right next to it? It appears the giant hole is going to get bigger, according to Sheriff Larry Townsend, who says there's no stopping it.
Oh, that's gone right
now. We got woken by a piercing scream at 7 o'clock. Our daughter had got up she has to go off and do the horses. And we came running out to find her sobbing and in hysterics because she'd looked out the window and her car had disappeared. It was just a huge hole.
This 12-meter deep hole opened up not in the middle of a road, but under the bed of a 65-year-old lady in Guatemala City. Terrified Inocenta Hernandez was woken in the middle of the night by the sound of a huge boom.
phenomenon stretched beyond North Battleford. Similar experiences were reported in Saskatoon, northern Saskatchewan, and parts of the U.S., even in Europe.
There's been a lot of buzz over the last few weeks about strange sounds being heard in the atmosphere. People around the world and here at home have reported hearing some bizarre noises.
Some strange noises heard around the world the last few weeks, from Arizona to England and right next door in Manitoba, all showing folks alarmed by what sounds like a noise straight out of a science fiction flick.
Watching a scary movie. The background noise gives you the feeling that something terrible is about to happen.
Strange, mild sound. It seems like it's coming from the sky, anyway.
I've heard that Jesus is coming back. I've heard that it's 2012, the world is ending.